Good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and safe and are also catching up on your studies through the various platforms available to you. And today, I'm going to introduce a topic of writing section to you all. And for this, I extend my gratitude to RO Jabalpur for providing us teachers this wonderful opportunity to connect with our dear students across the region. So, let us proceed to our topic. But before that, I would like to ask you all a question. During this lockdown, as we are confined to our own homes, how are you staying connected with your loved ones who are far away from you? Okay, right? Vaishnavi is saying she calls her relatives. Good. Vinamra likes to send them messages through WhatsApp. Okay, Vinamra. And there Pratmesh, he likes to video call his relatives. That's absolutely fine. But children, did any one of you ever think of writing a letter to anyone? No? But why? Dear students, letter writing is a beautiful art. But unfortunately, we are forgetting it day by day. And now you would perhaps be wondering what is so wonderful about it. So today's class is going to be all about letter writing, its various types and how to write these types of letters. So let us begin. So our topic for today is letter writing. And firstly, let me tell you why should you all know how to write a good letter. Dear students, letter writing is a very important communication skill that we all must possess. In today's era of digitalization, where people prefer mobile phones and internet over a humble piece of paper, it is still very important to know how to write a letter. Because even if you prefer writing emails, you should know how to draft its content. The content of both a traditional letter and an email are alike. So, the knowledge of this topic is going to help you with that also. And moreover, letter writing gives a personal touch to our communications and shows that we have taken out time and put in efforts to write to someone. If we talk about the types of letters, children, although you may find several classifications of letter writing, but as per CBSE syllabus, letters are broadly classified into two types, formal letters and informal letters. And this classification is done on the basis of the style in which the letters are written. That includes the language of the letter, the format, etc. So we are going to study these two types of letters in our syllabus. That is formal letters and informal letters. In today's class, we are going to study formal letters in detail. And informal letters we'll take up in our next class. So, what are formal letters? Formal letters, as you can see, are the ones written for official or professional correspondence. For example, letters to principals, authorities, editors or business letters, etc. What does this mean? This means that the applications that are written to the principals of schools or colleges are included under formal letters. Similarly, the letters written to commissioners, mayors, municipal officers, etc. come under the formal letters written to authorities. And the letters which we write to the editors of newspapers or magazines are also formal letters. We write a letter to the editor either to complain about an issue or to give our general opinion about an issue. And last but not the least are business letters. Business letters are included in higher class in CBSE syllabus, and business letters include letters ranging from letters of inquiry, letters placing an order to letters of complaint, etc. Earlier I told you that the classification of letters is based on the style of their being written. So how to adopt that particular style? To do that, you need to remember some key points. First is that the formal letter should be brief and to the point. It means that you need to exclude any frivolous statement in your formal letter. You need to convey your message as briefly and concisely as possible. Secondly, the language of your letter should be clear and formal. By formal, we mean that your language should be courteous and official. There are certain formalities, there are certain things that you need to adhere to while writing a formal letter. These include avoiding abbreviations of any kind, that is short forms of any kind, and also slangs. Slangs means the colloquial words that you use in your spoken English. For example, words like guys. You need to avoid such words while writing a formal letter. Then be very careful that you do not write the content of your formal letter or any letter, as a matter of fact, in a single paragraph. You need to divide your content into different paragraphs. Last but not the least and very important thing is that the format should be accurate and in correct order. That means there is a particular format of writing a formal letter. Every piece of writing has a format, and so does a formal letter. And what is that format and what is the correct order, that I will tell you. Please have a look at the components of format of a formal letter. We begin the format by writing the sender's address, and sender is the person who is writing the letter. Okay? Then we leave a line and we write the date. While writing the date, you need to keep in mind that you have to write the month in alphabets. Okay? If you are writing the letter in April, you will not write 04 for April. You have to write APRIL. You have to spell out April. You have to spell out the month's name. After writing the date, we write the receiver's address. Receiver is the recipient of the letter, the person to whom the letter is addressed. It could be an officer, it could be the principal, editor, or whomsoever. Then the subject of the letter is to be written. Subject makes a letter formal because in formal letters only we write the subject. Subject is not at all written in case of informal letters. So it is very important component of formal letter format. The main purpose of the letter forms the subject. It must be written in one line. Your subject should be very brief. It need not be very long. It should be brief and it should convey the matter so that when the recipient looks at the subject, at one glance, he or she should come to know what the letter is about. Okay. Then we write the salutation, sir oblique madam. And then finally we start with the content, with the main body of our letter. And while writing the main content, we need to be very careful, as I told you in the previous slide, that the content should not be written in one paragraph. It should be written in different paragraphs, and here it's mentioned that it should be divided into 3 paragraphs. And first paragraph should contain your introduction, the person who is writing the sender's introduction, and the purpose of writing the letter in brief, in short. Then the second paragraph would contain the detail of the matter. Okay, the detail of your subject. And the third paragraph should be the conclusion of your letter. It could include your expectations, your suggestions, and some examples are given, like you can give a solution to your problem. If you're writing a letter of complaint, then you can write the solution that you expect in the third paragraph. Okay, or you could write a request to highlight your issue in the newspaper if you're writing a letter to the editor. Then comes your complimentary closing. Complimentary closing means you have to write yours sincerely, or yours truly, or yours faithfully, or in case of a letter to the principal, yours obediently. And then at the last you have to write the sender's name and designation, if any. Designation means if the person is holding any post. So you can write the rank or post there, or in case of a letter to the principal, an application to the principal, it could be the class and roll number, etc. To make the concept clearer, now let us go through a couple of examples. Our first question is, write a letter to the mayor of your city seeking a solution to the problem of waterlogging in your area. You are Raj or Rani of Ekta Colony, Bhopal. So, in this question, there's nowhere mentioned that you have to write a formal letter. But we'll look at the recipient and we'll come to know whether it's a formal letter or an informal letter. You have to write the letter to a mayor, and mayor is a person of authority. So it makes it clear that this letter should be written in the format and style of a formal letter. And what is the issue? What is the subject? That there's a problem of waterlogging in your area and you have to write this letter to seek a solution to that problem. And even the credentials of the sender are mentioned in the question. It's given that you can either be Raj or Rani, and the address should be Ekta Colony, Bhopal. So let's see how should we answer such a question. Here, students, is an example of a way in which you can answer such a question. Just observe that we have started the letter by writing the sender's address as mentioned in the format of the letter. In the question it was given that you are Raj or Rani living in Ekta Colony, Bhopal. So we have written an imaginary address of Ekta Colony, 14/8, Ekta Colony, Bhopal. Then we have left a space and we have written the date. While writing the date, we have written the name of the month in alphabets. Okay. Then the recipient's address or the receiver's address, we are writing this letter to the mayor. So we have written the mayor, then name of the place again, Bhopal, and then comes the subject of our letter. Our letter is regarding the problem of waterlogging in Ekta Colony. So we have mentioned the same as the subject, complaint regarding the problem of waterlogging in Ekta Colony. And it could have been also like problem of waterlogging in our area. So it's up to you students, whatever language you may select for writing your subject, it should be brief and it should contain the purpose of the letter. Okay, then again we have left a space and salutation is written, sir oblique madam. Then finally we come to the content or the body of our letter. As you can see in the first paragraph, there's a brief description of the sender and a brief description of the purpose of the letter. I am Raj, a resident of Ekta Colony. That's sufficient. Then the residents of our area are facing a lot of problems due to waterlogging. So in simple words, Raj has mentioned the purpose of his letter in the first paragraph. Now we'll move on to the second paragraph where we have to elaborate, where we have to give in detail the content of our letter. Every year in the monsoon season, the area gets filled up with water as the drainage system gets choked. We have requested the area committee many times, but the situation is still the same. The residents' lives have become miserable as many waterborne diseases have spread. All the houses are submerged and we are facing a tough time. So here you can see, students, that Raj has elaborated on his problem of waterlogging. Like, what are the reasons due to which this waterlogging takes place? It's because the drainage system is getting choked. And what are the consequences of this? Diseases are spreading, houses are submerged, and people are having a lot of inconvenience. So this is how you need to go. You have to point out the reasons and the consequences of the problem that you are facing. This could form your second paragraph. Now, the third paragraph is very brief and to the point. Please consider the issue as serious and find a solution at the earliest. So here, Raj has simply mentioned that he needs the authorities to do something at the earliest, whatever the authorities may feel like doing, whatever they seem comfortable doing. So the authorities can do that to eradicate the problem of the area. So it's a simple to the point brief letter, and at last the complimentary clause is there, yours sincerely, and then name of the writer of the letter, Raj, is given. So bache, this is one of the ways in which you can write, you can answer the question. Okay. Let us go through another example. Here we have a question Write a letter to the editor of a newspaper on the issue of garbage that is spread all through your locality. So in this question, it's very clear that it's a letter to the editor, and the sender's particulars are not given here. So we'll have to invent them on our own. And name of the newspaper is also not given. That too we'll write on our own. And what is the subject of our letter? The subject is the issue of garbage that is spread through our locality. So let's see how we need to solve such kinds of questions. Here is a way, students, in which you may answer the given question. In the beginning, we have to write the sender's address, and since the sender's address is not already given in the question to you, you have to invent an address. You can write any address that you wish to write. Here I have written 27 Manavta Nagar, Jabalpur. Then I have left a line. Then I have written the date. Just observe the format of the date. Here I have written the month before the date, and in the previous letter I had written the date before the month. And when you write the date before the month, you have to write the date in ordinal number. For example, here if I would have written 21 before July, I would have written the date as 21st July 2020. That too without a comma. And now since I have written the date after the month, I have written July 21. Okay, then I have put a comma, then I have mentioned the year 2020. So you can write the date in any format that you find suitable. Okay, now since we are writing the letter to the editor, so in the place of receiver's address, we will write the editor. Then we'll write the name of the newspaper or the magazine of which the person is the editor. In the question it was given that you have to write the letter to the editor of a newspaper. So I have written the name of a newspaper here. This too I have invented on my own because it was not mentioned in the question. So I have written the Hindustan Times. You might write the Times of India, the Navbharat Times, etc. Any newspaper's name you can write. Then again I have mentioned the place Jabalpur. Then comes the subject, problem of garbage in Manavta Nagar. Very simple. This was our problem, this was our topic. So we have mentioned it very briefly in our subject. Again, salutation, Sir oblique Madam. Now let's see how do we write a letter to the editor. Through your elite newspaper, I would like to draw attention of local authorities of Manavta Nagar towards the unhygienic conditions in Manavta Nagar. So here, bache, this first paragraph is the classic way to start a letter to the editor. You may even write here something like this: through your esteemed newspaper, or you could replace elite with well-read or with popular. So through your elite or esteemed or well-read or popular, any one adjective you may use, newspaper, I would like to draw the attention of local authorities, or you can even write concerned authorities of Manavta Nagar towards the unhygienic conditions or whatever the problem is towards that problem of our area. Okay, so it depends on the question and it depends on the way in which you want to write it. Now, second paragraph. The roads of the locality are filled with polythene bags and dirt. As you know that it is the rainy season, these bags choke up the drainage, which worsens the conditions. There are germs and insects breeding all through our locality, and this is a cause of illness among the residents, especially the children. So here in the second paragraph, the person who is writing the letter, that is Arohi, as you can see at the end, has elaborated, has given in detail the problem that people of Manavta Nagar are facing. So this garbage which we have mentioned in the subject includes polythene bags and dirt. And what it causes? It causes the choking up of drainage system and a lot of diseases and all. Mosquitoes breed there. So this is what has been mentioned in the second paragraph. Now let's have a look at the third last paragraph. Hence, through this letter, I would request the concerned authorities to get the locality cleaned as soon as possible and also arrange for pest control. Now, here is the thing to observe, children, that in the previous letter, Raj had not mentioned any particular solution that he wanted. But in this letter, Arohi has given the solution that she expects. She has written what she expects the authorities to do, which includes cleaning of the locality and pest control measures. So here you can see that you can either, give your own solutions that you expect, or you can leave it to the authorities. It's simply up to you. And again, we have our complimentary clause, yours truly. Earlier we had written yours sincerely. So you have one more option now. Yours truly you can write, and then the name of the sender, Arohi Mehta. So here again the sender's particulars were not given, so I have just taken up an imaginary name. You can write any name, any imaginary name that you wish to write. After writing a letter to an authority and a letter to the editor, let us also go through an example of an application letter to the principal. So we have a question here which says, write an application to the principal of your school for the remission of fine. In this question, what you have to do is, you have to write an application to your principal requesting him or her to remit your fine. That means you have been fined, a fine has been imposed on you for some activity of yours, and you have to request your principal to cancel or suspend that fine. So let's see how we answer such a question. Let's see how we answer this question. Okay, so if you notice this answer carefully, you'll find that the format of application to a principal is quite different from what we have read earlier. Just look here. In the beginning, instead of writing the sender's address, we have written to. Then we have written the recipient's address, because the principal is the person to whom this application is addressed. So he'll be the recipient, obviously. So in place of writing the date, we have written the recipient's address in the second place. Then comes the date. So in case of an application to the principal, we have to make slight changes to the format, and that is the reason why I have included this example in this class. First you will write to, then you leave a space and you have to write the principal, Kendriya Vidyalaya number 2, Chhindwara. As the name of the school was not given in the question, I have written it on my own. So you may write the name of any school that you wish to write if it is not given in the question. And if it is given in the question, obviously you have to write that only. Then we have written the date, and then comes the subject of our letter. The subject is, you are writing this to request the principal to remit your fine. So the subject would be application for remission of fine. Very simple. Then you will write the salutation, that is respected sir or madam. So now let's start with the content of the application. Here it's written, I am a student of class 7 of your school. Our English teacher gave us a test on Monday. I could not take the test for I was ill on that day. The teacher has fined me 20 rupees. So here you can see the child who is writing the application. It's Vaibhavi. She has in the first paragraph introduced herself. She has told the principal that she belongs to class 7, and she has given the circumstance, the reason for the fine being imposed on her. She has given the reason that her English teacher gave a test and she could not take the test because she was not well that day. So she has been fined for that. So students, in the question, it's not clearly given to you. It's not clearly mentioned what reason you have to give for, being fined. So it's totally up to you. You can invent any reason that you wish to. You can write that you got late to school on a particular day, so you got fined by your class teacher. Or you may write that you have been irregular in attending your classes for some time. Or you could even write that you had done something wrong. It means you had done some mistake due to which you were fined. Okay, let's see the second para now. I'm good at English. I've always got good marks in English. I never avoid any test. If I would have been well that day, I would have given the test. I'm willing to take the test on any other day. So it's very clear that in the second paragraph, Vaibhavi is trying to convince the principal that whatever happened on that day was an exceptional case. Otherwise, she is very regular in giving her test and she gets good marks in English. So she's trying to convince the principal that it would be not a mistake on his part to remit her fine or to suspend her fine, because otherwise she is a good student and she gets good scores in the subject and takes her tests regularly. So in the second paragraph, you have to convince the principal that why he or she should suspend or remit your fine. So if you got late on a day and you got fined, so you can write, otherwise I'm a very punctual student and I got late because the tire of my bicycle got punctured on the way or something like this. And if you have done any kind of misconduct or a mistake, so you can apologize and you can convince and you can promise not to repeat such an action in the future. Then in the third paragraph, Vaibhavi has written, you are requested to kindly remit the fine. I shall always be thankful to you. Very simple closing line. You have to request the principal to suspend or remit your fine and add that you would always be thankful or grateful to the principal for his or her action. Then you have to write thanking you, a polite closing to your letter. Then comes the complimentary clause. The complimentary clause here is yours obediently. Please remember, students, that in case of application letter to a principal, you have to write yours obediently or you may write your obedient student. Please never ever write yours truly or yours sincerely here. Okay, that would be wrong. You are obedient to your principal. You obey your principal. So it should be obediently. Please learn the spelling of obediently well. Then you have to write your name, your class and roll number, and this is how you write an application to the principal. So that is the end of today's class, and I really hope you enjoyed learning how to write formal letters. And before concluding today's class, I would again remind you to remember the key points that are very important for writing a good formal letter. And children, do not forget that the format and its correct order is also very important in writing a good formal letter which will fetch you good marks in your examinations. Before leaving, I would like to remind you that in our next class, we'll learn how to write informal letters. Till then, my good wishes to you all. Thank you, children.